I heard that you settled down, that you found a girl and you're married now. I heard that your dreams came true. Guess she gave you things I didn't give to you. Old friend, why are you so shy? It ain't like you to hold back or hide from the light. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah. You know how the time flies. Only yesterday was the time of our lives. We were born and raised in a summer haze, bound by the surprise of our glory days. I hate to turn up out of the blue uninvited, but I couldn't stay away, I couldn't fight it. I had hoped you'd see my face and that you'd be reminded that for me it isn't over yet. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah. Nothing compares, no worries or cares, regrets and mistakes, their memories made. Who would have known how bittersweet this would taste? Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Never mind, I'll find someone like you. I wish nothing but the best for you too. Don't forget me, I beg. I'll remember you said sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Sometimes it lasts in love, but sometimes it hurts instead. Yeah, yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I thought I told you he'd be home soon. Couldn't help myself, you're too good to be true. I fall short each time, every time he ain't here. You and your charm creep closer, closer in the air. Like a fool for fire, I fall with my pride and all. Like a bomb before explosion, ticking by your call. You're the wiser one, disguised from greed. And I'm just a child who belongs on her knees. But I found a boy who I love more than I ever did you before. So stand beside the river I cried and lay yourself down. Look how you want me now that I don't need you. So you thought that I crumbled to my knees at the first sight of you crawling back to me. to whisper, will you leave your mane? 'Cause you swear that this time you can stand by me. I won't stand by you. 'Cause I found a boy who I love more than I ever did you before. So stand beside the river I cried and let yourself down. Look how you want me now that I don't need you. I ain't yours for no taking. You must be mistaken. I could never look into your eyes and settle for wrong and ignore the right. When I found a boy who loves me more than you ever did before. So stand beside the river you cry and let yourself down. Look how you want me now that I don't need you.
I am ready. I am someone that will make a change. I'm determined. I'll take a step against all odds. Would be strong, impacting my world. And I will make this world a better place in the best way that I can. When tomorrow and forever comes, I'll stand strong. I'll stand strong. We are ready. We are people to make a change. We're determined. We'll take a stand against all odds. We will stand strong, impacting our world. And we will make this world a better place in the best way that we can. When tomorrow and forever comes, we'll stand strong. So we stand strong, 'cause we are ready. And we will make this world a better place in the best way that we can. When tomorrow and forever comes, we'll stand strong. And we will make this world a better place in the best way that we can. When tomorrow and forever comes, we'll stand strong. We are ready. We are people to make a change. We're determined. We'll take a stand against all odds. We will stand strong, impacting our world.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. I hope you can all hear me. Good to have you all here today for another session of the LTC. Thank you. Good to know that you can hear me loud and clear. You're all welcome. Today is another day that takes us closer to our closing activities for the LTC 2020 virtual conference. And as it is always the tradition, it is at the final moment, closing moment, that you feel that, wow, this is actually ending after all that experience that you've had. I'd like to bring up our communication officer for today's activity, who will help us through today's event. But before I bring her up, I'd like to set the rules as to what we are doing today. Remember to add your names, include your names on your profile, your full names and your school. And also make sure that you have the proper posturing to have your videos on and you are attentive. And I also hope that, like some of your colleagues have been sending in their assignments, you send in your assignments today if you have not done so. So please let us take note of this, and let us also mind comments that we make on the chat. As we saw yesterday, that communication can be misconstrued, okay, when it's not properly enunciated. So mind what you send out on the general group chat, so you don't send things that are offensive either to your classmates or to the guests that we have in the room. So please let us apply decorum to all the things that you do in today's class. So at this point, without much ado, I'd like to bring up Mrs. Ifioluku to take over the activities for today. Over to you, our communications officer.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to day 8 of the Impactful World Leadership virtual conference for the year 2020. I'm sure you're all excited that you've come this far, right? If you're excited, can I see a smile? I want you to give me a big smile. If your video, okay, thank you. Blessing for that smile. And please, wow, our videos all turned off. Baby, how are you? Good to see you again. Precious, your video is turned off. I like to see our faces. We're rounding up, so I'm expecting us to all turn on our videos for today's session. So we have another speaker who's going to be coming up shortly. He's someone some of you may know. His name is Precious Chukundah. So I'll take his profile quickly. Precious Chukundah is a technology and digital solutions engineer with 9 years of experience building medium and large-scale software applications across platforms such as the web, mobile, and personal computer. Precious has had a first degree in electrical and electronic engineering from the University of Port Harcourt. The Pure Unicorn ISC chapter will be proud to receive one of their own, to hear from one of their own this evening. So for his final year project, Precious led a team to build an electrical vehicle with web and software controlled ignition system. I think that's a laudable one. And his work on building and maintaining platforms across several industries. He has worked in finance. He has had experience in the oil sector and ICT. And this has also led him to sit on the board of one of the largest developer communities in the world, which is Node.js Africa. Precious currently serves as the program manager Africa in Node.js Africa. He's an alumnus, an ambassador of Impact Leadership Academy, set up by the Impact World Leadership Initiative with branches across Nigeria and Texas in USA. Precious founded Unicorn Nigeria, a fintech company that utilizes blockchain technology to make the movement of funds seamless and secure. He's the Chief Executive Officer of Chigisoft Limited. And additionally, Precious co-founded Bobo iHub, an innovation center and co-work space involved in software development, training, and outsourcing. And for his contribution to society, Precious reserved his birth month as a time to equip kids and young adults with skills on coding and application development. I actually took my time to read his profile because he's an alumnus, and he also went through the Impact Leaders Academy and LTC like you all are doing. And you can see the impressive CV that Precious has today. And not only is he excelling professionally, he's also giving back. And I hope that we all will be inspired with this session today. I'll be back again to take your questions and answers. At this point, we would like to invite Precious to the left hand. Precious, are you here?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. Oh, it's evening. Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me, please? Confirm you can hear me. All right, thank you very much, Ify. Thank you, Shei. Thank you, JB, for having me. Thank you, everyone, our leaders of today. I'm really grateful for the opportunity to be here and share with you the little knowledge I've amassed over the years. And I hope we are all going to have a great time and learn from this session. Okay, so I will just kick off without much ado. I would like to share my screen. Okay, good. Please confirm you can see my screen. Can you see my screen? All right, good.
We said, okay, yes, your screen is up
okay,
now.
So,
we're good.
All right, that's cool. So I'm talking about the topic using technology tools for effective leadership. Is a quite interesting one. I was quite elated when JB asked me to talk to you about this topic. So maybe at the end of this session, I'll tell us something very profound or remarkable about, and maybe the actual secret behind my excitement taking this topic when I got the news. So let's head on. Now, please, I would like this to be very interactive. I'm not preaching. We're going to be discussing something. Technology is something that cuts across all ages, all tribes, all races. So technology, it's no respect of how long you've been on Earth or how old you are and all that. So who am I? I believe my profile has been read out, so I'm not going to waste so much time on this slide. My name is Precious Chukundah again. I think I was part of ELA Season 2, Impact Leadership Academy Season 2, and that was in 2014. I like to describe myself as a runaway electrical engineering graduate, and that's because I've never used my certificate for anything. Well, I just run currently Chigisoft in Nigeria, Renaissance Payments in the US, and also Philanthro Lab Africa. So maybe as we go on, I'll talk more about them if there's time. Now, in this session, this is all we want to, come to terms with. when we say we want to use technology tools for effective leadership, first of all, it simply means there is leadership. There is something that needs to be achieved. And we want to now talk about how can we use technology to achieve those things, make those things faster, make them better and more effective. So we ask the questions: what do leaders hope to achieve? How do they hope to achieve it? As a leader, right? What interactions need to go on for us to say, oh, leadership is taking place? These are the questions I want to ask. Then this session is supposed to answer the question: how then can technology make all of these processes that you need to do as a leader, how can technology make it seamless, make it better, make it more effective, and make it faster? Okay. Now, before I go on to the next slide, I would like one or two people to tell us, look at the three questions at the top and tell us what you think. What, as a leader, what's the major thing that you want to do? What do you want to achieve? What things go on before one can say, okay, this is a leadership process going on here. So anybody, please. Is anyone saying anything? Okay, I have to read from the chats. Great. All right, someone says making a change. Marvelous, thank you. Blessing to impact in the life of others. Favor, leader always aims to achieve a specific objective and goal. All right. Influence people positively. Great. That's from Mirab. All right. So one thing is common among all of the things we've mentioned, and that is influence. Right. So basically all a leader wants to do in all of the activities they go through is to achieve influence. So we can also describe leadership as influence, correct? We have to agree on a common, a common ground. So we can describe leadership as influence from all of the stuff and the sessions you've had over time up to this point. Good. So when we say using technology tools for effective leadership, we are also saying using technology tools to increase influence, to maintain influence, to, maximize influence, right? To give your influence a limitless reach. That's what we're saying. Okay, now we know what leadership is. We've established what goes on before we can say, oh, a leadership process is taking place. Now, what is technology itself? I just need maybe 3 or 4 answers. What is technology? I'm waiting for your answers. All right. Technology is a practical application of scientific knowledge. Okay. Thank you, Mirab. Let's have one more. What is technology to you? From your personal experiences, from all the things you've been doing, from the things you see, all right? Use of science to create solutions, application of science to solving problems. Okay, thank you, Opeyemi, for that. Favor says, technology is the result, usually a product or service of applying principles and other knowledge. All right, that's great. And one more from Blessing. A scientific knowledge to make life easier. Okay, great. So we have a common ground here. We've established that leadership is influence. We've established that technology is, practical science that makes life easier. All right. So how can we use these practical applications of science for effective leadership? When we say a leadership is effective, what do we mean? I think that's the next question I'm going to ask before I move on to the next slide. When we say what happens before we can say, okay, this person's leadership style, or this entire process of leadership that I'm going through is being effective? I want multiple answers here. All right. Someone says a positive, marvelous. A positive result is better results. Okay. John says results. Everyone says results. All right. When results are produced, I like that term. That means we can say, I don't know if JB asked this question here in our time. He asked that question one time and we had a little debate. Was Hitler an effective leader? All right, good. Very fine. Thank you very much. So yeah, it's nice we agree on this one. So we don't have to have that debate. Yes, he was a very, very effective leader because, I mean, he got the results he wanted at the time. All right, great. So, of course, we are talking about technology, all right? However, it's important for us to still find a common ground on leadership. I believe a lot of, we've been hearing all about leadership. However, all I'm trying to do here is just, prepare the grounds and for me to understand that my own idea or what I think about it, we share the same knowledge about it. So what are the leadership attributes? Obviously, influence, that's the biggest of them all. The fact that you can influence people to do something and, go towards a common goal that you have set for yourself and for them or for the society, that's what makes a great leader. Now, what are the things that needs to happen for leadership to go on? Communication. As a leader, you constantly need to communicate your team goals, your aspirations, reporting to your team members and the people that also rely on you, to lead. When we are talking about leadership on several fronts here, we're talking about internal. So communication can be grouped into two: internal and external. So internal, basically, as leaders, you work with teams, right? There's no leader without a people that they lead, right? There are people that leadership is not just seen in, an organization. The fact is that whenever the things you say affect how other people think or other people make their decisions, whether you know them or not, you are definitely a leader. Okay, just like in Port Harcourt here, where I'm based, I say some things, I have to put out some things. End of the day, people I don't know, take it and go according to what I've said, as long as technology is concerned. There is no organization or international organization that comes to Port Harcourt wanting to do something in technology that doesn't reach out to me first. I didn't proclaim myself a leader, right? But because of the influence that grown over time by the applications and technology implementations we've done across all the different areas of our business and our society, yes, I am termed the leader. So the same thing happens to you. You've noticed that sometimes some people you've never met, you don't know, but because you maybe post some certain things, you always give out some certain kind of information or some certain kind of value, people then look at you as an authority in that area or in that field, all right? So communication is something really, really big when you're talking about leadership. Recently, during the pandemic, when the pandemic broke out, I think the US government, approved some billions of dollars for businesses to, as a relief. Now, a hackathon was held where, technology leaders, bank leaders, and, companies were called together to say, okay, can we build a technology solution to power or this process and automate the process to make it as simple and seamless as possible. Now, our company, Renaissance Payments, we are invited to that hackathon because, we are identified as a leader in that space because of the solutions that we are bringing. So just like you said, I'm lending credence to what you said about results. So results, the solutions that you prefer, make you a leader. And the fact that you keep communicating that result, or keep communicating your process and the things that you do. Okay. Now, learning, a leader is a lifelong learner. And of course, a leader is not someone that does things all by themselves, right? A leader is someone that also builds people up so you can delegate some responsibilities to achieve your goal. So let's talk about the tools that you can use, for effective leadership. We all agree that communication is really, really big. It's really, really big. It's something that you cannot joke with as a leader. But if you're not able to properly communicate your goals, your aspirations, the things that should guide the people that look up to you, if you're not able to communicate them properly, even to your team, then you know that, excuse me, you're going to have a problem. All right. So for your clubs that you're going to be running, internal communication between the executive, between the sub teams you're going to set up to handle several things, they are really, really essential. Tools that have been specifically designed to make this communication process internally and externally very, very effective. So for now, I'm going to talk about internally, how you can manage your teams. So this is one great tool I love so much. We use at our companies, Slack. It depends on how large your team is and how effective you want to, carry out the necessary activities you want on your team. Slack is a really great tool for internal communication. Now, it's so nice that you can create what we call channels for like maybe different departments or different projects that you're handling. All right. So Slack, basically Slack is just a communication tool. It's like, let's say it's like a WhatsApp with groups, and the groups are just within one organization space. Okay. So you can check it out at slack.com. Now, alternatively, if you're not gonna use Slack, there is Microsoft Teams, there is WhatsApp, and there is Zulip Chat. Zulip Chat is an open source project. Now, WhatsApp, of course, we all know about WhatsApp. We all use WhatsApp a lot, and some of us have WhatsApp groups of different clubs. However, when you use WhatsApp, it's basically for basically for like quick communication that doesn't really need to be tracked. All right. But if you want to be able to track your communications, you want to be able to have several plugins where you can share documents, then Slack is really, really great. Okay. Now, do you know that you can even start a Zoom meeting like this from Slack? You don't have to open Zoom. So it's something called a plugin. Of course, I cannot really go dev too deep in. Right? Something called a plugin. You can start Slack Zoom meetings from Slack. You can share Google Docs through Slack. You can, like, a lot of things. You can keep note of tasks and assignments through Slack. It's really huge. So please check it out, slack.com. And I believe that if you use that for your internal team, I mean, you can easily track a lot of your conversations and all that, having different rooms or different projects, such that reporting is made easy. One more thing before I move on. On Slack, there's something we call it stand-ups. Okay, so normally stand-ups are like where teams come together and discuss. Maybe you have a project at hand, then you discuss, okay, this is what I've done yesterday concerning this project, this is what I'm doing today, and this is my blocker. So basically you just describe, okay, this is what is blocking me from getting to achieve this goal in this project at this point in time. So Slack has all of this range of abilities to enable you, carry out all of those things effectively. Alternatively, there's Microsoft Teams and there's Zulip Chat. I love Slack. Now, these are the different integrations that can go on with Slack, just like I think I've mentioned. Google Drive. We all know Google Drive. Is there anyone who doesn't know Google Drive? All right. So, Google Drive is just like your you know, your file explorer on your PC. So just imagine your file explorer on PC on the internet. That's Google Drive. Just imagine all those folders, you save your documents and all of that on the internet. That's Google Drive. So instead of having to access all these different files and stuff, or different platforms, different places, you can actually carry out actions on one tool, the Slack collaboration tool. So it's a great tool for communication and collaboration. Very, very big. There's you have alternative to Google Drive. There's OneDrive, right? There's Zoom. I've mentioned Zoom. If with Zoom integration on Slack, you can, you know, you can start a meeting at any time. So these are all communication tools that enable you to function effectively. Sometimes when you chat, you believe me that you agree with me that when you chat, sometimes your intention with a chat message you sent is different from what the recipient understands when they read. Correct? Please confirm on the chat. You can on the so it's different. But however, is also now there's a difference when you see yourselves, you know, having such communication. So I'm talking to you now. You're seeing my facial expressions. You're seeing my hand gestures. So it's okay. I just saw a funny a funny comment. I'm sorry for being distracted. Marvelous. You're so funny. That thing has cost a lot. All right. So I'm talking now. You're seeing my hand gestures. You're seeing my smile. Right. I could say, I'll come for you. It's different from, I'll come for you. Right? Those are two different messages. I'll come for you. Like, you'll be scared, oh, all these guys coming to beat me up. Then I say, oh, yeah, I'll come for you. You're right, you get? So it's nice to, when you want to discuss things that are really important that might invoke emotions, I believe it's nice to use a meeting tool like Zoom. Now, alternatively, aside Zoom, you have Google Meet, MEET, right? It works like Zoom also, all right? So I use Zoom, I use Google Meet when I want to have my meetings, okay? Then there's a Google Calendar. Of course, calendar apps, right? I'm just recommending Google Calendar, where you can, you know, keep track of what you need to do at a particular time. Now, it's important. I know that the secretaries and all that, you set up meeting dates as a club. You have meetings, you hold meetings. Now, it's nice when you have everyone's emails, and you don't have to send an email or a message every time you have a meeting. You can just set up that meeting on your Google Calendar, and everyone is added to the same calendar. That means you don't have to create a meeting on the calendar and share it every time. No, you can have a common calendar that every team member is subscribed to. Then whenever you put up activities that should go on at any point in time, everyone gets notified 30 minutes before time, 15 minutes before time, you know, and more. I mean, even this meeting we are having right now, if we have them in a Google Calendar, you would, I believe some of you may have had them. However, it would be more effective when we all share one calendar and the date has been put on the calendar. Everybody automatically gets, you know, reminded prior to the time. Okay. Now, all of these things can work directly through Slack as a tool. So it's a really nice tool that we recommend that you explore so much. Now, another great tool, I'm not going to cover a lot of tools, but these ones are really, really nice and big, is Trello. Now, Trello is for a lot of things, and one of such things is project management. I believe that as IELTS clubs in your different campuses, you are going to be undergoing some certain, you know, projects. So Trello can be accessed at Trello.com. And guess what? Trello also integrates with Slack. That means you can communicate, collaborate, and manage your projects from one to Slack. All right. So how does Trello work? Trello works different. You have to assign different roles to different people. It better presents the roles and activities people are supposed to carry out in a more presentable manner, like it presents it better. Okay. So definitely in my company, team members, I prefer to call them team members as opposed to employees. We just wake up in the morning, go on Slack, and they can see, if you look at this, they can see like their tasks for the day. So each of these places is called like, is a column where you can have, okay, incoming task, doing task, maybe blocker, and done. So let's say at this area, you can see something here, images should not be duplicated. So if this is assigned to me, there's a picture here. This image here shows who this particular task has been assigned to. And all of the things that people are supposed to do for each of the tasks. Each task is represented by a card. So each of these white stuff here is a card for a task. So you can describe every single thing that you need that person or the group of people to do, because you can add either a person or a group of people to a particular card. So you describe everything they need to do. So all they do is come to Trello, click on it. Oh, I just tapped on my slide. I thought I was on Trello. So click on it and understand all they need to do. Then you can, even in a card, you can create sub-tasks. So whenever someone completes a task, they just go there to Trello and tick it off. Guess what, again? You can integrate it to Slack such that when someone ticks off a task on Trello, you as the leader or the project manager, you are immediately notified on Trello that this task has been accomplished. And guess what? You can also set up timelines for each task, for each card. So you could say this task needs to be done by Friday, 12 p.m. And whoever is responsible keeps getting reminded, oh, your task is supposed to be submitted in the next 10 minutes. Have you done it? All right. Now, an alternative to Trello is a tool called Notion. Trello can be accessed at Trello, Trello.com. Notion is Notion.so. As in Notion.so. That's Notion.so. Right. So that's an alternative to Trello. Okay. So the next thing, final thing for building internal influence is knowledge and learning and knowledge sharing. It's important that as a leader, you keep developing yourself. You don't stop learning. Okay. I told myself after I graduated, a lot of us, our team there from Uniport, so we told ourselves that once we graduated, that we would never go to school again, and the only school that we want to go to in this life is Sunday school. Right now, of course, that is right and wrong on so many levels, because okay, it's right in the sense that the school we are referring to was school as we know it, right? Like the regular school, you go to school, lecturers are teaching you and all that. However, as a leader, schooling never stops. It never ends. Okay? Learning as a leader never ends. So school in its actual sense never closes, all right? However, on the other end, I only want to go to Sunday school. Okay, so how do you improve yourself, as a learner? So there are platforms for that. All right. There's Udemy. Udemy, you can find almost anything you want to learn on Udemy. There's Lynda.com, owned by LinkedIn. There's Udacity. Udacity is great. Udacity offers something they call nano degrees for some courses, and there's Coursera. Now, these are all learning hubs. You don't need to have a lot of money to access learning materials from these hubs. That's why they are here on your screen. So you can learn anything: leadership, psychology. As a leader, you need to understand a lot of psychology because you're going to be dealing with a lot of people. I believe you cover the temperaments here. So All of those things also have to do with, understanding the psychology of human feelings, emotions, and behavior to know how to follow each person based on their own personal temperament. So whatever thing you need to learn, even how to use Slack, I've mentioned, how to use Trello and all of that, it's here, okay? So use this to, to work. Now, I have a question here. Thank you, Mira. Does Trello work for free? Yes, Trello is free. All the apps I'm showing you, they are all free. Of course, they have paid versions. That's when you want to access higher tier features. However, but the features I'm listed out to you that you can do, you could use that on the free versions of these tools. All right, good. Now, we've been preaching about technology a whole lot for over the years, and people have not been taking us serious until coronavirus happened. So we thank coronavirus for getting people to appreciate technology more, Now, Harvard is even, doing their undergraduate program online, all right? A lot of schools are going online. Everybody is going online right now. And it's so nice that all the things we've been preaching, he had to take the pandemic to get people to appreciate it. Of course, God is going to intervene, and there's nothing that happens without his permission. So, and we have to thank him for everything. At least that's what the Bible tells us. Good. So, this is where we are right now. There's a university that just came out. Okay, I don't think it just came out. However, I think Mrs. Obi is basically now. I think they added that to the board. Nextford. I don't know if you've heard of Nextford. So you could, for those of you that want to do your masters, go on to study higher. Nextford University is also there. Harvard's courses are now online, like completely online. You can get a Harvard undergraduate degree online without stepping out of your house. Okay, so it's so nice, right? So take advantage of all of these learning hubs to, improve your knowledge all of the time. It's really, 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 really great. All right. Now, let's talk about influence. What are the tools we use for influence? Of course, you know that for influence to happen or for influence to take place or grow, communication has to take place. And this is where we come to using online media. First of all, I'm going to start with your website. Okay. So as a group or as a club, having a website cannot be underestimated. All right. Because this is where people are going to see what you do, what you've done, the updates you've made. Sometimes your website could have a blog where you update, all the things that is going on within your club. Now, I'm talking about the club. I also talk about you as a person. You as a person, you also need to build your personal brand. Now, before I set up my company, Chijisoft, in 2016, it turns out that a lot of people that started doing business with us were doing business because of Precious Chukundah as a brand and not because of Chijisoft, because in some way I built my personal brand. Currently, we support the River State government on several fronts, building some sort of applications that, automate some aspect of the governance in the state. And all of that was as a result of my personal brand as a person, not even the company skills or goodwill or whatever it is that Chijisoft as a company has. So as a leader, a great way of selling yourself, even as a person, is having a website. Now, some people are, I don't want to have an online presence. I like to be secluded and all of that. See, if there's a great danger in that, in not having or taking control of your online presence. And I'm going to tell you something that happened. In 2014 or 2015, around that time, there was a little issue or challenge that happened with Engineer Akin's person. So people were creating accounts in his name and defrauding people. We all know that as our is our benefactor, and he would never do such a thing. All right. However, what was done to mitigate that challenge? Immediately, a real account was set up for him and announced that, okay, this is his actual account, such that, because no matter how you hide yourself, see, a city set on a city set on a hill can never be hidden. No one lights a lamp and puts it under, the bed. It must shine. So as long as you're a leader, you are packed with value. No matter how much you want to humble yourself and put yourself under, you can never be hidden. Your influence is something that is going to go beyond you to places and areas that you've never heard of. All right. So it's important, not for your sake. You don't do this for yourself, because as a leader, one of the attributes is that you are selfless. So setting up your online presence and taking charge of it is not just for you. It's for the people that follow you, the people that look up to you. All right. So that they won't be defrauded, right? They won't, encounter things that the alternate versions of you online. So going online right now as a leader or as a leadership organization is non-negotiable, because people can use your name and cause so much damages. And as you know, you're not going to be, you can't meet every single person that was defrauded and say, okay, it's not me, no, it wasn't me, no, it wasn't me. So it's nice to have your authentic profiles online. Even if you're not going to be posting stuff, even if you're not going to be doing anything, safeguard your digital, identity. I will talk more on that on a later slide, but I'm going to stop here for now. So as a club, have a website, all right? With a blog, you update the things that you do. There are people that contact us just by stumbling on our website and say, oh, wow, I see what you do. Can we do business? So people can see your website and, oh, wow, I love the projects that you're doing. I would like to make this donation to support you, in this endeavor. Okay? Now you're talking about your stuff. The first thing anybody does when you introduce yourself or what you do is to take their mobile device and Google you. That's the first thing anybody does right now. That's impulse. I believe that some of you here must have even Googled my name already. Okay, so it's impulse. So what happens when your digital footprint, is not well taken care of? So please get your website, both for your club, both for yourself as an individual. Chukundah.com. I bought every single wrong spelling of my name so that people will not be misled. Every single wrong spelling of my name in domains, I bought every one of them. Because without my input. So I can't afford to, be on that, under the radar, both literally. I'm not a loud person. However, it's important that you safeguard these, digital assets for yourself. So the next stop is social media. Of course, this one is a really big one, and it's important we get things right here. A lot of us have made some mistakes as regards social media. Okay, now your platform of choice is something that should be influenced by the goals that you want to achieve, the kind of people that you want to meet, the kind of conversations that you want to be having, and the message that your brand as a person and as a club passes. So the way you relate on several social media platforms or on each social media platform cannot be the same. The way you relate on Facebook cannot be the same the way you relate on LinkedIn. LinkedIn, everybody is serious on LinkedIn. Everybody is talking about money, talking about partnerships, business opportunities, job opportunities, career, all of that. Facebook is kind of in between Twitter and LinkedIn, right? Twitter right now is almost like a savage street. I don't even understand what happens there. However, there are still lots of sensible people there that put out great content. However, it's important to understand what these the major or the primary kind of contents that go on this platform. and how you should better portray your brand when you are using these platforms. Okay, so at this point, I think I'll allow some people to talk. So you can raise your hand for the question I want to ask right now, and let's discuss it. Okay, now as leaders, should we take social media serious, and why?
Okay, some people raised their hands earlier. So you can raise your hand to participate, to make your comment.
Okay, Stephanie, let's hear from you. Stephanie, you've been unmuted. Stephanie, are you there? Good evening.
Yes, sir.
We can't hear you clearly, so maybe type your
Hello, sir.
question
Can you
in
hear
the
me?
box. So, okay, I can hear you now.
Okay. You asked if, as a leader, if social media is important.
Mm-hmm.
I believe
yes,
it is. My answer is yes. Okay, reasons being that the world right now has gone digital. Can you hear me, sir?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, I said the world has gone digital, and if you want to make a mark or an impact in this world, you have to use digital. That way you network and a larger population. I mean, you can stay at home now and access over 3 social media platforms with different people or different followers that you have there. So I believe my answer is yes. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great points. I don't think I have to say any more there. Emmanuel.
Okay, good day, sir.
Yes, good evening.
Okay, I believe we should take our social media accounts important because so many people have lost opportunities. Some have almost lost their careers because of what they posted online. Example is a musician, Peruzzi, who posted some derogatory stuffs about rape in 2010, and he came out in light in 2020, and is beginning to affect his music career. Some people are denied visa to USA because of some of the nasty twists they've made on Twitter about the US, derogatory things they do. So we should take whatever we post online, we will always stay online. So we should take it very, very seriously.
Emmanuel, can I ask you something before you go off? Right? If I'm making posts on social media and you can come back to haunt me, won't you advise me not to even be on social media at all?
You can be careful on social media. It's possible for you to express your view in such a way that even if it's brought back after several years, even if it's brought back, it won't be on a negative note. Like use of insulting words and use of making nasty remarks is what is not right. But being on social media itself, you can express your view in a logical and formal manner.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. That was really, really eye-opening. I've learned from you. Isaac, please.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think social media helps play a role in leadership because informations that are posted on any of the social platform went viral, always go viral a lot. And most persons are more, like an average Nigerian, they are more on each of the social platform. So information posted there go viral. And as such, we should be mindful of everything we post on each of the social platform, so to not spoil our reputation, our career, and opportunities.
All right, thank you very much, Isaac. That was quite eye-opening. Mirab.
Okay. can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Go ahead, please.
Okay, so
Can hear you. Go ahead, please.
I believe social media is very important when it comes to leadership because just like you mentioned, one of the key things is influence. You have to, as leader, you need to influence people, and to influence people, you need to communicate. You need to reach out to people, of course. And in this period, we can't think of a better way to do that with ease than social media. Most people might not be really good with emailing, especially in this part of the world. Most people might not be so great with keeping up with emails and some other platforms. But social media has made it quite easy. So in order to influence people, for ease of communications, to even learn, social media is very key in it. So it is essential this period for us as leaders to be very deliberate and very active on social media.
All right, thank you very much. That will be all for now. I hope we can continue later. So, I mean, you've done all of the explanations for me. I don't have anything more to say. So it's important. Social media is important because we not ask ourselves the question: must I even have an online profile? Is it important? I mentioned the fact that something happened with Engineer Aki's, image that wasn't great, and we swung. I think then it was the team swung into action then, and reported all of the accounts. We got a lot of ambassadors to keep reporting the accounts to make sure that it's wiped off. Now, Facebook as a platform has, put together some sort of verification processes for accounts nowadays. And even when someone wants to create an account now with your name, if you have exerted influence and, taking care of your digital assets, then it's going to be seen as a malicious activity. So please, something very important. As a leader, for your club, for your personal brand, safeguard your digital assets, your username, your domain name, appropriate keywords that you used. A keyword can be hijacked. You know what keywords are? Like tags. If you go on Twitter or anywhere now and search for a particular hashtag, you see messages on that particular hashtag. So it's important for you as leaders to take charge of all of these things, okay? When we set up ILC, we immediately went online. I think that was the first thing I had to do then, and set up ILC Uniport then, the username on Facebook and all media. So facebook.com/ILC Uniport, got a domain name then, just made sure that all of those necessary digital assets that fraudsters could use to defraud people in the name of the organization, make sure that all of those things were safe and set up, because anybody can hijack your identity online. Just like one of us said, online on social media, you can reach hundreds of thousands of people. You can do, in fact, in March, I built the platform that enabled like Black businesses in America access the loan that the president, approved for American businesses. And I did that in my little bedroom in my place, and nobody even knows who I am. So you can see the world is so big and global. Like you can do anything from anywhere and affect a large amount of people. All right. So please, if you're not online right now, if you're not active online, it's important to have that profile, safeguard your digital assets, and maintain the communication and the message that you pass. The first time I did a contract from the US, the client messaged me, and come on, I'm in Nigeria. We just discussed, we didn't talk for long, and he said, send me your account details. And he sent money even before I had started the work. So after a while, I asked him, sir, why did you do this? Why, as in light and in view of all of the stereotype around Nigerians and and how we act online. Why did you trust me this much? We've not met, we have no mutual connections, no one introduced me to you. You just came across my profile and you sent me money immediately to do something for you. Why? And he said something. He said, Precious, I've been following you for a while now. All right? And that was profound for me. So it simply means, everything that you do online, someone is watching. They can open you to opportunities, bigger than you. You've been praying to God for opportunities. This is a way of preparing yourself, setting up yourself for such opportunities. All right? So by all means, maintain your digital profile, your assets, and constantly push the message that you stand for. Okay? Constantly push the message that you stand for. Because you see this internet, someone said it before me, it never forgets. Okay? So these are examples of digital assets that you should take very serious and take note of. Your usernames across profiles, across platforms, really, really important platforms, all right? The keywords that you use to pass your message or the hashtags that you use to pass your message. Your domain name, when you have, we have www.impactyourworldleadershipinitiative.org, that's a domain name. You as a leader, you need to have your own personal domain. Even if you are not ready to build your website now, buy your domain name. You can buy your domain name at namecheap.com. It's very cheap there, as the name implies, namecheap.com. I have my own domain name. If you go to chukundah.com, if you go to precious.com, or and all the wrong spellings of chukundah.com, and you go there, it's my stuff, because I've purchased all of those things. No one can impersonate me online. It's so easy to impersonate anybody online. You can just create a profile, take JB's picture, put there, and put JB's name. However, people are going to know that's a fraud, because JB over the time has maintained his profile, and we all know him for a particular kind of content that he puts out. Every morning, I'm receiving a devotional from JB. If I forget to pray, JB reminds me to pray because there is a constant message that I've known his brand for. So it's easy to spot out a fraud that will pretend to be JB because he has, built out his digital, asset and his digital footprint, and is out there for the world to see, and everybody knows that this is JB as a person. Okay, so I'm going to be rounding up a little bit. I believe that if we do all of this, yes, we've covered the collaboration tools, communication. That's something that's very important for leadership to take place. All right, we've talked about delegation using Trello. Now we're talking about social media, the influence. Of course, this session is not to teach you about influence or how to influence people. I'm only letting you know that, look, social media is something that will be a tool you can use to exert such influence. One morning, I woke up to a message on Facebook from someone I've never met, I don't know, and the person said something to me. He said, "You are the reason for my success." I paused and I almost shed a tear because I don't know this person. In fact, it's actually my birthday was on Tuesday, and I think Tuesday this week, and I was receiving gifts and stuff from different people I had never met that I don't know, and this message was the same. You've affected my life in this way, in that way, and all of that. And this is just from things I post or things I say, or the kind of brand image I project about myself online. So please, as a leader, you are not living for yourself. You didn't come to this world to live for yourself. Part of what makes a leader is sacrifice, right? Of course, there are times that you might want to give up. We all have such episodes. But sometimes you remember the people that look up to you, the people who draw inspiration from you, and you have the strength to carry on. So you understand that as a leader, you are living for people. And that's what you are here to do. All right? So finally, it's important while we're going online, it's important for us to be safe. All right? It's important for us to stay safe. The internet never forgets. Let me explain. I remember I posted a picture on Facebook and you didn't like it, and you later went to delete it, and it no longer appears or shows in your profile. You've all done that. You've deleted it, maybe a post that you put out and you didn't like. How many people have done that? I believe a lot of us have done that. Just confirm, so I know I'm not alone. Good. Now, allow me to shock you. You didn't delete anything. I'm a coder, so I know what I'm saying, right? Whatever you put on the internet is there forever. It doesn't go out. That delete you did, all the platform did was they just hid it from you and other people. There is a website I will give to you that you just go there and type your Facebook username, and you see everything you posted on Facebook since beginning till end, even the ones you deleted. You will see everything there. Everything. I'm not going to give it to you, but I'm telling you, please, before you make any post, think 7 times. Ask yourself, is this my message? Is this my brand? Is this me? Will I be proud of this in the next 10 years? Right? Because it never goes off, ever. I write code, I build platforms, and I'm telling you, it never goes off. You see a button, delete, you will click delete, and it will disappear. You no longer see it. You're happy. Yeah, I made this mistake, and I've corrected the mistake. I've deleted it. Sorry. It's still there. So think a lot before putting out your message, before making a comment on someone's, before making a derogatory comment or a comment that you may not be proud of. Think. Take responsibility of your actions that you take online. Again, I'm telling you, I'm not scaring you, I'm not making a fuse. I'm telling you for a fact that whatever you put on the internet, even if you delete it, it is not deleted. What is done is that it is just hidden from you and other people that could visit that profile. It doesn't go off. Okay? So I believe that we'll all be careful henceforth. Guard your online reputation with jealousy. Remember, in fact, did you all hear the story of the young man that was falsely accused of rape and how he committed suicide? Now, when a message goes out about you like that, people are quick to believe things. You can't go in front of every single person. I mean, there are over 20 million internet users in Nigeria. Right now, they said the number is almost 90 million. You can't go in front of 20 million people and telling them that, no, this thing is not correct. This thing is not as it is. Okay? So it's important, guard your reputation with jealousy. Make sure that you put out enough content to make people have a view of you. There are times someone will come and say something about you and people rise up and say, no, it is not this person, because there's a way you've passed a particular kind of message. The chats you have online, on WhatsApp, on Facebook, the chats you have. See, I'm telling you, I must say, of course, when I didn't have the knowledge, we've also done crazy things. The kind of conversations you have, the way you have the conversations, even if you go and clear the data, it's still there. It's still there. It's still there. If you like, delete it, format the phone, it's still there. So before you send a message on any platform, WhatsApp, Facebook, Twitter, before you send a chat, a personal message, That one, you have to think 7 times because it's still there. It never goes off. Then finally, focus on your online goal, the brand that you want to project out there. Internet addiction is real. Focus on, the actual thing that you want to do when you are online, when you are building your reputation, when you are pushing stuff out there. And that will make you not to deter from, why you are actually online. Understanding your why. Why am I here? Why do I have to influence people this way? Why am I doing this? Okay? If your why is ingrained in your head, in your mind, any action, your why is going to guide you. Your why, because there are times where you can be careless or carefree. However, when your why has been ingrained deep inside of you, it's something that makes you, in the image of your why, such that you will not make certain mistakes that are outside your core, which your why has defined. So your why is basically what is that thing? Who am I? What am I doing? Why am I on earth? What kind of leader am I? What kind of influence am I exerting? What kind of message am I passing? Why am I doing this? So every point in time, that core of your being will lead you whenever you want to make, put out messages like this for people. So fellow leaders, thank you all for listening to me. I'm really grateful. And I believe and I want to hope that we've learned a lot here. So I'm going to take any questions, contributions in any areas that you feel maybe I have not covered enough. Ask me anything. I've been doing tech for 10 years. All right. I'm not an old man, so when you hear when you hear 10 years, it might be something as though maybe I'm a very old man. No. I I started professionally when I was 17. So yes, you can do the maths.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Precious Chukundah. Thank you for an insightful session. I'm not sure he's completely done. His system is, his picture is a bit frozen. It seems to be frozen on the other end. But you can begin to send in your questions before he comes up again. So if you'd like to ask your questions, you can either raise your hand or you can ask your questions in the comment section. So we've had a very insightful session. I hope you can hear me. We've had quite an interesting and insightful session. Thank you, Precious, for such an insightful session today. The pandemic has been a sort of lesson, has been a blessing of some sort for the entire world, for the world, for us globally. Precious mentioned the fact that a lot of people are aware of technological solutions that we ignored before now. And in fact, I didn't know some of the tools he shared actually existed. I took note of Slack and I'm going to check it out. And I'm sure you all took note of some of the solutions he mentioned that we can take advantage of in running and managing our different ISC chapters and teams. So some of the technology solutions that Precious has shared can aid our internal communications as well as external communications. I think after this session, after this conference, we're going to roll out a brand manual. Some of us have already established different ISC chapters on Instagram, especially. So we're going to roll out a brand manual that will ensure that our online visibility is, it's standardized, as it were, because Impact of One Leadership Initiative is a huge brand. And thank you, Precious, for reminding us again that we need to be intentional about every post. So as a result of this session, I'm going to ensure that we have a brand manual that will roll out to all the chapters, listing out the guidelines, even up to the font type, in the way and manner that we post. We'll put our posts on social media, will be standardized going forward. Precious, if you're here, please come up so you can take the questions.
Yes.
I noted some questions earlier.
I'm back. Sorry for that. Yes.
Okay.
I had to switch my internet source. Sorry about that.
Okay. So can we take questions now? So thank you, Precious, for such an insightful session. Just reiterated of some of the comments, some of the points you highlighted. That the global pandemic has been a blessing of some sort, in the sense that it has also brought to a higher level, brought us a higher level of awareness of technology, of technological advancement, and some of the solutions that we can use to work and function, basically as humans. I took note of some of the softwares and some of the solutions you shared, and I'm going to look at them and then see how we can utilize these solutions even at the corporate headquarters at Impact of World Leadership Initiative. It's been a very, very awesome time. I also talked about our ISC chapters who currently have presence on social media, especially on Instagram, that a brand manual, because what you have brought to the fore is it necessitates that we have a brand manual that will roll out to all the various ISC chapters so that our mode of communication can be standardized, so that there are rules and guidelines protecting our online visibility and our online reputation. Because one thing what we highlighted and what a big takeaway for me in this session is protecting our online reputation. And I like the fact that you emphasize that the internet never forgets things. It keeps regurgitating. One day to regurgitate that thing that we think has been deleted and is forgotten. And so I like that you have brought us to a sense of awareness of being conscious of our online reputation. And even at the organization level, a brand manual will be rolled out to ensure that our online reputation is also protected at the level of our ISP chapters. Because I think branding is my field, and I think it personally. Thank you for that session. I like some of the things. I'm waiting for the questions to come. Actually had a feed there reading the comments. A lot of us I can see the light bulbs happening everywhere. Some of us didn't even know some of the solutions existed. I know Udemy, right? I know Coursera, but I'm hearing about lynda.com and the other tools you mentioned for the first time. I'm also glad to hear that at Harvard, that a Harvard certificate can now be obtained online. So these are some of the blessings that the COVID-19 pandemic has brought our way. So for all of us listening, and especially for those who hold the position of the director of publicity, as it were, please take note of this session and please go back and watch the replay so that you can utilize all of these tools. I'm waiting for your questions. Can I see a question here?
I've seen some questions here.
Okay. Before you answer, I just feel I should also, reiterate on this. See, the power of technology is so important. I'll give you an instance. I saw an e-flyer of the Peladuro Toye. Peladuro Toye was one of the last presidential aspirants, and he publicized a program called Speak for Gold at 25,000 naira per participant. But what struck me about that program was that some of the people had ignored, were the people who were coming to speak, the people who are trivialized before now. Like I'll give an instance, there's a lady called Tisha B. She's very popular on Instagram. There's Rita Edozian, I think she's a LinkedIn online visibility expert. And quite a number of them were built to speak. And the program was at 25,000 naira. And so that to tell you that, you know, this is the new normal. And in this age of technology, everybody is taking advantage of the different platforms that we have. And so as an organization, as a body, there's no reason why we should not take advantage of this season. You know, so in putting out your communication, you can sell your club. And there's a way we can be intentional about what we're putting out there, that will make it easy for people to donate or to join our club. In fact, our social media platforms should be, you know, I'm not saying we should go online and begin to raise funds. Please don't misquote me, but I'm just saying it can be an avenue for us to bring in prospects, you know, so, and for people to know what we're about at Impact and World Leadership Initiative. You know, and that's what I love about your session. I'll give one more example before you take the answer, before you begin to answer the question. Earlier today, I had an online meeting that lasted for about 2 hours. I got the call. The call was scheduled from, you know, from the person I had a meeting with was all the way in Miami, in United States of America, and over there in Miami, it was 7:45 a.m. And I took the call at about 12:45 p.m. here in Nigeria. And after that session, this guy made a sale of $2,000. I mean, he was so convincing on that call. It was a Zoom meeting. But at the end of the day, he was, in fact, I was ready to pack the $2,000. Eventually, I had to pinch myself that, look, I beg, somebody cannot just sell something. I didn't even turn on my video. He told me, okay, there's no need to turn on your video. But he was so convinced already to pack the $2,000. So that's the power of technology. I didn't see him. In fact, all the details I got about him was online. I'd been following him for a while, and I saw he had credibility. And that was why I booked the call so that I could take his offering. And so you can imagine how much, in fact, people became millionaires for the first time in this pandemic. So, and that's why I love your session on how, and I think we can use it to improve our personal and professional life. Okay, so please take the questions. Which one would you want to start with? Yeah.
Okay. In case anyone dropped one while I was off, I can't see it. The one I'm seeing right now first is from Coyote that says, is it necessary for, since it is necessary for the club and also I as an individual to have a social media account, there is necessity for the club to have accounts on all social media possible. And I also as an individual, must I have accounts on every social media possible to grow and go global? All right, this is a very thoughtful and important question. Now, every social media has, you know, the kind of audience that they drag or that they attract. So it depends on your message. You also have the kind of content, you know, that is predominantly on such media. So now it depends on your personal brand and the kind of message that you pass through. You don't have to be on every, you know, social media stuff. I don't have a TikTok account, right? I see TikTok as a waste of time, all right? I don't have, you know, there are people that any new social media comes out, they just jump on it. No, it's basically your goal. I, as a tech solutions provider, I'm always looking for where my clients are. My clients are not on TikTok twerking. My clients are not on, what's the other one? You know them. My clients are not twerking on all those areas. The people that can pay me the kind of money I want, I discovered that they are on LinkedIn. All right. So I channel my energy to LinkedIn. I also discovered that a lot of them too are on Facebook. More bulk of them are on LinkedIn. Another set are on Facebook. Right. So I channel my professional life to LinkedIn and Facebook. Now on Twitter, I discovered that on Twitter you can build influence around young people that follow you. So what I do on Twitter is put out content that inspire young people. I get a lot of messages about, oh, this stuff you posted got me to start programming. got me to start coding, or this one made me change my life in this sort of way. All right. So that's how I choose my own, where I get on. All right. YouTube, basically, I'm on YouTube to teach my courses, to put out, learning materials and maybe videos that my businesses, do. So it's not really necessary to be on all social media accounts. Be on the necessary ones, the important ones that align with your goals and your targets. Okay? Your goals and your target. You could even create a TikTok for ILC, right? It's possible because, Jesus said, I didn't come for the hale and healthy, right? I came for the sick. So as ILC, I believe that you are also here for the sick, right? So the average youth that, has no direction in life. So go where they are, find them out, right? And understand that your goal in such platforms is not to build followership to fuel yourself. Your goal in such platforms will now be to fish those people and give them life-changing content such that their lives are impacted because of your presence. I hope I'm clear, Kayode. Then from Opeyemi, is it necessary to be on all popular social media networks? Okay, I think it's a similar question, and I believe I've answered that. Marvelous says doesn't use LinkedIn. Please, depending on your career, what you want to build out for yourself. LinkedIn is a must-have or something that you must be on. Although it still depends on where you are headed. There are some career paths that require you to just be on Instagram and Instagram alone. So understand, again, let me just repeat it, the things that guide me or the things that you could also use to guide yourself. What kind of message am I passing? Who am I passing the message to? Where can I find them? Where can I really completely exert my influence and be myself? Not a place where I'm going to go and pretend because everybody is twerking on TikTok. I don't usually twerk. I now go and twerk. No. Where can I be myself? Where can I, show forth the light that I was born with? When you have comfortably answered this question to yourself, then you can also answer the question, which social media can I find these things? And that can help you make your choice. Okay. Okay, she says, I would love to know, talking about media, it's a necessity that political leaders appoint media aides. Question is, while a person tries to please his master, how can he also protect his reputation and brand, knowing fully well that he cannot bite the finger that fed him? Wow. There's a friend of mine that was in this situation. I called him up on phone one day and I said, guy, drop this job. I called him up as a friend. I said, drop this job. Because Nigeria is a peculiar state such that no one knows, no one cares that you're representing somebody. When you're making such things that are untrue and making attacks on other people, it's a direct hit on your own personal brand. Look at the people that, I won't mention their names, that represent the people in government, from the president to governors and all of that. Just look at the kind of posts they make on Twitter and see the backlash they have from people. All right? So you ask yourself, okay, can I take this? Is this something I can stomach? Because most times you're asked to put out things that even you yourself deep down, you know that this thing is untrue. Me as a person, so whenever something has, is something that will dent your integrity or reputation, please run away from it. I don't want to say too much on it. Just run away from it. I told you, I called my friend up. I said, guy, drop this job. It's going to dent you in so many ways that, you cannot recover from. And the politician that you are so defending will continue living his life. Now, can we say phone internet addiction is good so far one's doing profitable things on it? Is any kind of addiction good? In fact, I had this quarrel. I had this quarrel on a NITDA group one time. You know NITDA, in charge of technology and stuff. So someone talked about internet. Someone talked about internet addiction, and I made an argument that this addiction can be good. And my reasons were, the first time I learned to code, right? When I learned how to code, when I saw that I could do variable, I could do 1 + 1. I mean, I could do an app that I would just do 1 + 1, click, calculate, and I get 2. I mean, I ran mad. It was like magic. And I spent the next 3 days without sleep building my first software. And I built it completely in 3 days without sleep. So I argued that that kind of addiction is good. That was my argument. However, addiction in all levels is not really good, because at the end of the day, lack of sleep could kill me. Okay, so it's important. Even the Bible admonishes us to do things in moderation. So it's important to be moderate, you know, in the things that we do. So addiction on all levels is not really great. Okay, because as a leader, your health is very important. Okay, you should take care of your health. Very, very, very important. All right. So despite the fact that you know, you're doing something that is great and nice, please do it in moderation. Find time to rest. Of course, I can say this now because from experience, maybe 5 years ago, man, I hardly slept, man, because, you know, when you start coding like this, so I don't know how many of you code here, but the feeling is on another level, right? It's like you're high. So it's so nice when you can do A + B and you're seeing something coming to life. You're seeing people using your stuff, right? One of the blogs in the US covered the work that we did in enabling about 88 black businesses access the first $350 billion Donald Trump released for American businesses. And, you know, I had this sort of feeling. It was so great. It was so nice. However, understand something. The long and short of all I'm saying is, do these things in moderation. They could be for the right reasons, but they could affect your health. The glasses I'm putting on right now is a blue light filter, because, I spend a lot of time in front of my screen, so I have to protect myself. All right, it's not swag. So, you know, all of these things are, you know, things that you have to just, you know, take care of, so that even as a leader, your health is good. You need to be alive to lead people and influence people positively. So please stay alive and fight every, you know, kind of addiction. However, it is still better to be addicted to good things than any other thing. But moderation is key. Okay, Chi, yes, I'm glad you're cleared.
Precious, I would like to ask a question. There's a question I want to respond to quickly.
All right.
Take more questions. Ambassador Favor asked a question earlier. The question is, which department of ISC should handle the building and maintenance of website for the club? Please take note, and for all the ISC presidents, please notify and guide your director of publicity accordingly. There are only 2 official websites for the organization. So we have the www.impactawardng.org, and then we'll have the website for Houston chapters and ILEA, the Impact Leader Initiative America. And so even from our official website at Impact Award Leadership, at Impact Award ng.org, you can access the website. There's a link to the website of our Houston chapter. These are the two official websites that we have and that we're going to maintain. So for now, if we will let you know if that position will change in the future, but we cannot have multiple websites. So we're not encouraging our ISC chapters to set up websites. What we're encouraging is that you have a social media presence. And I know we're all, and I think all our chapters are currently on Instagram. However, we may also want to extend online visibility to LinkedIn, because that also suits our brand. I'm precious people that I think we should leave out TikTok for now. I think we should leave out TikTok. Yes.
Definitely, I recommend that too. I mean, just leave it out.
Yeah, just leave out TikTok, please. However, our official platform, social media platform, approved platforms, please take note. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Twitter. I haven't seen much of activities on Twitter, but I think we can have Twitter presence. We're more active on Instagram. So for all the other ones, TikTok and the other upcoming ones, let's leave those ones out. So I guess that answers, I hope that answers your question, Ambassador Favor. So we only have two official websites that we're maintaining as an organization. However, you can make your presence felt on all the other available social media platforms that I just mentioned. There was also another question someone asked earlier that I discovered their website domains for ISC chapters already. How do we get access to them? So I'm giving you the website address. I think I also responded to your question privately. So you can visit www.impactyourworldng.org to see all the activities on our various ISC chapters. So if you go to the domain, to our website, you will see there's actually, because our website is a website within a website, so there's actually a page dedicated to our ISC chapters. And I recall, I think this will also be an opportunity to inform our director of publicity. When we were upgrading our website recently, we were chasing all the clubs to get their updated information, to get pictures. And I don't think that's not commendable, but I don't think that's acceptable. So going forward, we expect that when we call for certain information, we want to immediate response so that we can update our records accordingly. And, so we are going to be managing the official website from our back end with information that you provide to us on the website. So please make sure you all visit our website today to see, what a lot is actually happening there. So over to you, Precious.
All right, thank you very much, Madam. Can I suggest something as regards the website? This is something that will be really great for everyone. Yes, I saw the ILC subdomain. However, even for your reports, right? The website can be expanded in such a way that the clubs can have a part they can log into and make all those reports. So it reduces the time for you to manually make the updates yourself. So they could do all of that. Then on your dashboard, the admin dashboard, you can review, and with a click of a button, you can send the ones that you want to go live, and they go live. All right. So the website can be expanded in such a way that every club has a page on it. Because if ILC Uniport is nice that ILC Uniport is doing something and it's on their website. So it could be Impact Your World Leadership Initiative and impactyourworldng.org/ILC/Uniport. So when somebody goes to that link, it's still on the same one website, right? When somebody goes to that link, the person can see just stuff that happens in Uniport. So when Uniport is, pushing the activities, they can just put out that particular link so they can, it's easier for them to get the right partnerships they need, the right, support and all of that. So this is just a suggestion to the organization. I think I can still take it on with JB after now. If I tell JB to give me money, Of course, I'm not going to ask Jimmy to give me money. So if it comes to that, of course, we could talk more on that and see how we can expand it, because I really want to see your activities, right, everywhere. Sometimes I stumble across some of your activities. However, it would be nice to have a dump where someone can come to and at a glance see what the IOCs are doing across the world.
No,
Like,
exactly.
yeah, it's going to be a huge, huge plus. So yes, I'll be willing to advise on that as time goes on. Okay,
Thank
so
you,
I have
Precious, for
one.
the offer. So we'll just take two questions, two more questions, because we have a video to watch just after the Q&A.
Okay, someone is asking, what's your Babatunde, what's your advice for anyone who's trying to get into technology for the first time? For the first time. Yeah, second time. Okay, you want to get into tech. What's my advice? Well, typically, I usually like to, say my own story and all that, but I won't bore you. It's going to be a very long, long one. How did I stumble into technology? How did technology choose me? As a kid, I looked at my current situation where I was, and I took the decision that situation. So I went on, and who are like the most influential in the world today, the most powerful, making the most waves. And those I discovered Bill Gates and the likes. And I went on to find out what are they doing, and discovered that it's technology, and that was it. Okay, so it's like, yes, this is where the world is heading into. Now, it's important that getting into technology, understand one thing. Technology is not like an industry. Technology is more like an empowering industry, okay? An industry that empowers other industries. Of course, there is core technology, building technology. Technology is like science in a way. Science is potential energy, is static. Technology is what gives science movement, right? Technology is when that theory, science has been applied. Now, technology is like science in the sense that it will continue to be potential energy until it is implemented in another industry. So if we are saying agriculture, we are not going to go to the farm with hose and cutlass and expect to feed the entire nation. We must use some technology in some kind of way. So getting technology, understand which kind of problems or what areas do you want to get into? What real life problems do you want to solve? Tech is broad, right? It's not just coding. There's hardware. There are lots of things. So, but it starts with understanding which aspect of human problem or human challenges do I, as a person, want to solve. When you are comfortably answer that question for yourself, then you can know the aspect of technology that suits that area for you to work with. Okay, if I want to answer this question completely, it's a whole section on its own. But just take this, understand which aspect of human challenge you want to get into. All right, then what existing technology career path is trying to solve that problem. Then you can make further research on that and know how to get into it. Okay. The last question here: must one be a science student before he or she becomes a technologist? That is, do they have scientific terms that only science students comprehend? Okay, great. Do you know that science is art and also? So please let the technology thing, let the definition of technology as application of science not misinform you about technology. While we were in school, we set up our group, Iron's group then in school, one of our best software engineers studied economics. He's also an ELA ambassador. Studied economics. So tech is no respecter of field or what you studied in school. It's no respecter of you know, your tribe or whatever. Like tech, anyone can get into tech. Do you know that right now, right now what I do basically is product design. Do you know that the best product designers are those who studied psychology in school? The fact that you're using Zoom today is a product of a psychologist that designed it. Because psychologists are needed to understand human behavior and create what is called user experience in order to build apps. You see people on the roads, they are walking on the streets, they are glued to their phones on Facebook, WhatsApp. It is the job of the psychologists working in the user experience department to make sure that people are glued to their devices. So technology is so broad, it's not just science, all right? There is the role of technical writer in technology. So if you don't know your English or how to write properly, or you know how to do summary, you're not going to excel in that situation. So technology is so broad. So I was told to take just one last, two questions. However, let me just take this final one. Please permit me. All your questions here, maybe you can tweet at me later or send me an email. But let me just take this final one. Say, how can we overcome the bad name of Nigeria when going global? You see this one? I'm taking this one because it's so personal to me. I have talked with a lot of Americans. The hackathon I got into early this year was with CTOs of banks, like America's big banks, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, you know, big fintech companies in the US. And look, every single time I'm on a meeting or even on my Slack channels, when I join these communications, I put my name and I put the Nigerian flag beside it. Always. I put my name, I put the Nigerian flag beside it because I am a solution provider. And each time I provide a solution to their problem, they stare at my name and they stare at the Nigerian flag and you understand that, look, it's a Nigerian that solved your problem. So it's up to you to shine the light as a Nigerian where you find yourself, such that those people that encounter you, whenever anyone is saying anything about any bad thing about Nigerians, they can beat their chest and say, no, I have met a great Nigerians. And because of you, someone is going to defend Nigeria and say, Nigeria is a great country. I'm a Nigerian. I built platforms that help Americans, and I put my flag there for them to see that, look, this person that is saving you, this person that is giving you this thing that is making your life easy is a Nigerian. It's glaring. I don't hide it. So the long and short is shine your light and wear the badge proudly. That's it.
Thank you. Please, a round of applause for precious Chukundah. Thank you so much for this session. Thank you so much. I'm glad to read that. I read David's comment earlier. So David Ayalume is using Coursera already. So for some of us who are not already taking advantage of this online learning platforms, please ensure you check out these learning platforms and utilize them. This is the age of technology and information. Do not be left behind, the train. Thank you so much. I also liked a comment that President Nelly did earlier. She said different social media platforms can influence a leader's outreach, network, and reputation. LinkedIn can be very influential to a person's career progress if utilized properly. So and that's what I actually find very, very impactful about your session, because apart from helping us in our professional work at our various ISC chapters, this can also impact our personal lives. So beyond creating a platform for ISC on LinkedIn and Twitter, some of these platforms, please ensure that you have your personal profile on LinkedIn, because eventually if you're looking to build a career or a business and you want to be taken seriously, you should be on this platform. And you should be, you should jealously guide your reputation. Precious hammered so much on that. So make sure that you guide your reputation, jealously. I have one final question before we take, we're going to watch a video shortly. Oh, our question's gone off. Please, there's a question here. Okay, the question is that someone asked earlier, and I think I should quickly give us the response. Is Trello a free platform or is there a paid version?
Trello is free. It's free. However, just like every online platform, they also have a paid version, right? When you want to access higher, features that I believe that your organization may not even need, like the free version will serve you very well.
Okay, thank you. So on this note, we'll quickly watch a video.
Can I leave now? Can I leave now?
Yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, everyone. I really appreciate your opportunity.
And if you'd like to reach Precious, please contact him. What's your Instagram handle? Anyway, you can always get
dropping my email.
Okay.
My Twitter.
Okay, so you can follow Precious on his social media pages and then send him a DM for all your questions if you have further questions. So we're going to watch a video shortly and then I'll be back to make the final announcement for the day.
It is in his vision of a superior Singapore that Lee has revealed to the rest of the world probably the most controversial, if not indeed unacceptable, of his beliefs. People, he maintains, are not supposed to be equal.
The human being is an unequal creature. This is a fact. And we start off with a proposition. All great religions, all great movements, all great political ideologies say, let us make the human being as equal as possible. In fact, he is not equal, never will be.
We had to lock up people without trial, whether they are communists, whether they are language chauvinists or religious extremists. If you don't do that, the country would be in ruins today.
We allow American journalists in Singapore in order to report Singapore to their fellow countrymen. We allow their newspapers to sell in Singapore so that we can know what foreigners are reading about us. But we cannot allow them to assume a role in Singapore that the American media plays in America. That of invigilator, adversary, and inquisitor of the administration.
Why do you have so little faith in the ability of your people, so well educated, to make intelligent judgments on diversity of ideas, on competing news?
I have been in office for now 29 years. I have won 7 general elections since my first in 1959. I think that qualifies me at least to be able to say that I do know Singapore better than the questioner.
Few, if any, in Singapore had the boldness to challenge the authorities, serious consequences that could be anticipated. They all knew their Prime Minister ruled with an iron hand.
Whoever governs Singapore must have that iron in him, or give it up. This is not a game of cards. This is your life and mine. I've spent a whole lifetime building this. And as long as I'm in charge, nobody's going to knock it down.
So people always said that you are using the libel laws to threaten your political rivals.
The same laws apply to me. Nobody has ever sued me for libel because I do not defame my enemies.
He has never lost a case in Singapore, And he has commenced something like, more than 20 odd cases, and he has won in every one of them. Now let's stop and pause. How is it possible?
What are our priorities? First, the welfare, the survival of the people. Then, the democratic norms and processes, which from time to time we have to suspend.
To Lee, public opinion polls are not worth a bean. His philosophy is that the nation's leaders should never dance to the public's tune.
I ignore polling as a method of government. I think that shows a certain weakness of mind, an inability to chart a course. Whichever way the wind blows, whichever way the media encourages the people to go, you follow. You're not a leader.
In America and Britain, or any other country that shares their principles of democracy and freedom, political leaders are constant subjects of caricature and satire, and most are wise enough not to take offense. But not in Singapore. Lee insists that leaders in Asia should be accorded respect.
If you keep on mocking your leader and poking fun at him every day, and he has no right of reply, it is very difficult for him to command your respect. I say without the slightest remorse that we wouldn't be here, we would not have made the economic progress if we had not intervened on very personal matters. Who your neighbor is, how you live, the noise you make, how you spit or where you spit, or what language you use. Had we not done that and done it effectively, we would not be here today.
Lee is health conscious. He neither smokes nor drinks, and swimming is his daily exercise.
是不是每天都游泳？
每天都游泳。
没有停过吧？
有时没有办法了，如果太忙的时候。
怪不得你的身体那么好。
一定要有运动才可以。
有没有特别的养生之道？
不要吃太多，够睡觉，够运动。工作也需要有兴趣。
It was indeed the Lee who took cleanliness and health seriously, who set about transforming the unsightly Singapore of old into the Singapore that's known as the clean garden city of today.
And even from my sickbed, even if you are going to lower me into the grave and I feel that something is going wrong, I'll get up.
Well, thank you, Precious Await Officer, for that choice of video from Lee Kuan Yew. You know, he's someone who inspires us and us as leaders. On this final note, it's an emotional high. You know, we're coming, we've come to the end of LTC 2020 virtual conference. So tomorrow is the grand finale. We're going to be graduating tomorrow. We're having a final ceremony tomorrow, and we're going to have Engineer Akin Odumakinde live in the house. If you're excited, let me hear your comments. But before I go on to give the announcement, I'd like to acknowledge the presence of our club advisors. I'd like to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Emmanuel Emori. He has been, he's participated all through this virtual conference. We want to say a big thank you for what you're doing in your club. We're excited to have you here, and we look forward, to having more of you in your chapter. We can see the great work you're doing. Thank you for joining us on this virtual conference. So our grand finale comes up tomorrow, and please I want us to observe all protocols that the commandant mentioned earlier. He has reiterated several times on our dress code. And tomorrow is also an exceptional day because we're going to be having a group photograph. Are you excited? If you're excited, let me see your comments now. Yes, I can see Okechi's comments. Yes, so are we ready? So come corporately dressed. Tomorrow is the time you should wear your suit, because a lot of us have not probably had the opportunity to dress corporately since the outbreak of the pandemic. So you have the opportunity to wear the best, your bottom wardrobe, that Christmas dress. You are going to rock it tomorrow. So make sure that you're all corporately dressed and you turn up on time. So it's going to be a major turn up. We're having our founder, we're having our president in the house as we graduate tomorrow. So please make sure you're looking your best. It's been a wonderful session. It's been a great time. I've been glad, I'm so excited that I spent this 3 weeks packed of different enlightening sessions with you all. And I hope we can do this again come 2021. For those of you who haven't graduated then. Yeah, so our papa is coming around. Yes, he's going to be here live tomorrow. So please, all presidents, ensure that you send out reminders to your various clubs. Everyone should be, and then the time is 3 p.m. Please take note. The time is 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. So don't think it's to 6 p.m. and then you turn up and then we've all graduated and the ceremony has closed. So make sure that you're in here before 3 p.m. So you can begin to log in and you can join the graduating room right here on this virtual conference from 2:45 p.m. So make sure you turn up early, to receive our father. Make sure you turn up early. And so at this point, I think we can have the closing anthem like we always do. I'm going to miss you, baby. I'm going to miss you. I miss everyone already. I miss you. Oh, I'm going to miss you all. And I'm sure so, and that goes for Mr. Joseph Bayatisi, the general, for our IT officer, Precious, for Chidogo, who has been working behind the scenes. You're going to all hear your report card tomorrow, by the way, on all our level of participation. Yes, thank you, Nelly. I'll miss you. I'll miss you. Please, can we, Precious, please, can you play the closing anthem as we begin to say our goodbyes for today? And we want to know that we can go and get ready for tomorrow.
I am ready. I am someone that will make a change. I'm determined. I'll take a stand against all odds. Would be strong, impacting my world. And I will make this world a better place in the best way that I can. When tomorrow and forever comes, I'll stand strong. I'll stand strong. We are ready. We are people to make a change. We're determined. We'll take a stand against all odds. We will stand strong, impacting our world. And we will make this world a better place in the best way that we can. When tomorrow and forever comes, we'll stand strong. So we stand strong. 'Cause we are ready. when tomorrow and forever comes, we stand strong. We are ready. We are people to make a change. We're determined. We'll take a stand against all odds. We will stand strong. Be that in our world.
Okay, bye. You can continue to say your goodbyes. And please make sure that your videos are all turned on tomorrow. Hey, thank you, Shego. Make sure that your videos are all turned on tomorrow. And that's why I emphasize on, getting dressed properly. There's going to be a photo shoot. We're going to have a photo shoot. And then let's all dress properly and responsibly to receive our Father tomorrow. So on this note is a goodbye from me, and do have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the rest of your evening.